Praise and glory to the living God. So I already recorded some things earlier today that I need to release, and I was so tired, which I'm still very tired. So I went to go back to sleep, and I prayed to the Lord to go into another dimension. And I thank God that He made my dream come true. I went into another dimension. So anyway, let me just throw this out there. On this channel, I talk about some things that you don't always hear in other ministries. And I talk about other dimensions. So I will put a playlist of videos where I explained other dimensions. It is in the Bible, and I biblically explained that. I will put that video in the description box, and I'll put another playlist of other things that I've seen about other dimensions. It won't be everything that I've seen. I don't think I have all my videos in that playlist, but it'll be a lot. So anyway, I went into this other dimension, and I knew that it was me in this other dimension. It was myself. And I was seeing through my eyes in this other dimension. And I instantly knew that. And so I opened my eyes, and I knew that it wasn't my world, that it was another dimension. And I was just looking around, and things were coming to me, because when I go to these other dimensions, I have a gift of wisdom, and I instantly gain understanding of my environment, of my life, and different things like that. And as I'm looking around, I lived with someone. I'm not sure if this was a relative, but it felt like a friend. And I wasn't sure, though, because I didn't finish reading into the person. I was more looking at my surroundings. I was more interested in that. And we lived together as a female. And we were in the room together, and we were listening to music. And as I'm looking around my environment, I noticed that I had a very big home, but it was poor. And I instantly knew that. And I said, oh, I'm poor in this dimension, too. Yeah, I was just poor, but not like homeless poor, but I was still poor. And I had a lot of things, though. Like my house was furnished with furniture and clothes and everything like that. But I knew that I was struggling financially, that I was poor. And in the dream, I used the word poor. So anyway, we were listening to this song. And I believe this artist's name in our world is Anthony Brown. Don't quote me on that. But he sings this song about report to the dance floor, everybody turn around, something like that. And anyway, we were listening to that song in that dimension. I have to add this note. I forgot to say that I knew that me and whoever this female were very strong, devout Christians. And the song that I'm referring to is a Christian song. So we were listening to Christian music. And I was saying to myself, wow, they have some of the same music and people that we have in our world, in our dimension. But as I was thinking that, with the gift of wisdom, I see visions, and I saw the video, and I saw that the video that went to the song was completely different. It was more, I don't know how to explain this. It was like a video in our world that you would say was like back in the 90s. It was almost like a back in the 90s type video. And the guy who sung it, he was the same guy. I knew that. But he looked different. His face was different. It looked more aged, actually. Even though he was still African American looking, but he was slightly darker. And he looked a little bit more rigid, more aged, I guess. Even though he was dressing very young. It was interesting. So yeah, I was just saying how they have some of the same people. I was instantly getting wisdom about that. But things were slightly different. And I was saying how they have some of the same music. And so then I noticed that we had these dogs. We had dogs, me and my roommate. We had maybe 3 dogs. I think it was like 3 dogs, 3 or 4 dogs. And they were so beautiful. It's hard to explain this. Their skin looked like glass almost. It's hard to explain to you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm not an artist. If I could draw some of the stuff that I see, you guys. Anyway, it was like these balls of glass, like not just a smooth glass, but like balls of glass. but it was their fur. I said skin, but I meant fur. Their fur was like this balls of glass, but not clear glass. It looked like it was made of glass, but it was like white and gray, like white and gray balls of glass. That was their fur. They were beautiful. And their mouth, though, was not like the mouth of dogs in our world. Their mouth was, it's hard to explain it. It was very different. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't think of anything to even compare it to. But the mouth on these dogs was very different. And anyway, when I opened my eyes and I'm looking around like that, one of them just instantly started coming up to me, and he was very affectionate. And I reached out to touch the fur because it looked like glass. I thought it was going to be very hard, like you would think glass would be, but it was fur. That's when I noticed this is their fur. And it was so beautiful, and it felt like silk. It was so nice. I was like, wow, no wonder I got a lot of these dogs, because I only like one dog at a time in this dimension. But now when I had like 3 or 4. And so anyway, they were gorgeous dogs. But then I started to feel like the dog was sensing that I wasn't from that dimension. And so I started trying to push the dog away from me. And he didn't want to get away from me. He kept coming to me almost like he was checking me out. Like he was noticing that I was not from that dimension. I knew that. I was like, this dog knows that I'm not supposed to be here. And also, I don't know if I said this, but the me in that dimension was asleep. And when I went into that dimension, I was awakening. And that's when my eyes opened and I was looking around. It was a very fun dream, just going into another dimension again. And I thank God for that. He answered my prayer. I love you all. God bless you. Bye.